Hello YouTube. So before I forget, thank you very much to Marcy because this is pretty hilarious. This is a commercial back from 2001, a Holiday Inn commercial that features the Ebola virus. So very much predictive programming if you ask me, because very coincidental, right? Because the Holiday Inn, that's what they did. The Holiday Inn marketing crew, they sat around, they said, you know what would be a good way to advertise for our hotel chain? And they said, you know what? Let's do an Ebola virus commercial. Yeah, either that or it's predictive programming, because what the cuss does Ebola have to do with hotels? And maybe it'll be a big outbreak. Anyway, so great catch, Marcy. Awesome. I'll put that below. I would show the commercial, but the last time I showed a commercial, the video got blocked due to stupid copyright. So I'm not going to do that. Moving on. You've probably already seen this, but I had to chime in on this because this blew my mind whenever I saw this, and thanks to Strong Tower, because he's the guy who I found it from first. So microchips will be planted into healthy people sooner than you think. Isn't that just awesome? It sure is all coming out in the end, isn't it? It's all being revealed. You like how they say healthy people? They don't say just like tech buffs or pop culture crazies. Nope, healthy people, because they mean it's going to be for everybody. If you haven't read this and you're into this stuff, I tell you what, if this doesn't tell you how we've been right all along, I don't know what does. It even straight up calls it an RFID. I mean, we've had it nailed from the start. But we're just going to get to my favorite part here. This is great. See that guy holding that little chip there? Mark Gasson from the University of Reading holding the computer chip that was injected into his hand. Gasson's research for human microchips parallels the work of a growing community of people, so-called biohackers, who view microchipping as the next form of human evolution. Hacking tends to have a negative connotation, but this new group of technology enthusiasts offer a different meaning in their world. In their world, the goal of hacking is not to inflict harm, but to transform something from its original purpose into something more useful. This is the exact Nazi transhumanism agenda that they're trying to do. This is the whole Captain America super soldier crap. That's what this is, word for word. The human body has limitations, but biohackers are constantly thinking of how these limitations can be overcome, how life can be made better or more convenient, like removing the need to carry around keys all the time through the use of technology. And before even getting further into that, how is this whole life being more convenient working out for us as a society? Are we progressing as a society, or are we taking steps backward? Because if you ask me, people are a bunch of animals that are glued to a bunch of screens all day, if you ask me. And this is exactly why they're bombarding the public with all these superhero movies. They want people to want them to want to have like upgrades like these cussing superheroes do. That's exactly what this is all about. I mean, I wish whenever I started getting into this stuff 3 years ago, I wish I would have known it was going to be like this. I really do, because I wouldn't have wasted so much time, effort, and emotion trying to shake these guys, these dum-dums that surround us and wake them up. Because I have been arguing with complete and total psychopaths for the past 3 years. Because is it just me, or does anyone distinctly remember how this whole microchipping thing was a big conspiracy? In fact, I decided to bring this out for you. You remember this movie, Conspiracy Theory, came out in 1997, where Mel Gibson played a conspiracy theorist, and he said, oh, the government's bad and they're out to get him. It turns out he was right. 1997. I get to it, can you see it? Old movie. Right? I'd play more of it, but I'm afraid of copyright, but I'm going to play a little snippet. This movie is very prophetic. If you haven't checked it out recently or checked it out at all, I highly suggest it, because it's pretty mind-blowing. It talks about George H.W. Bush being a 33-degree level Mason, talks about the New World Order, even talks about how they're going to spy on us and how they have helicopters, Black Hawk helicopters flying in the sky. Talks about, and my favorite one, very, very peculiar, very coincidental, is he mentions how they changed the new $100 bill and how they changed Ben Franklin. And that's exactly what they did. They put that, was the first time they did the little 3D security ribbon on the new $100 bill. And in fact, word for word, their words, not mine, they say it's the most complex U.S. note they've ever produced. So it's very funny that he picks out and mentions the new $100 bill being changed. And that's exactly what they did. When they changed it, they made it the most complex U.S. note ever produced. But let's hear him talk about how this microchipping was a conspiracy.
The chip for identification so they can track track down an animal anywhere he's at, you'll insert it under the dog's skin, and it's kind of like an identification thing. I mean, it's only a small, logical step until they start putting it in us and our children. And then...
There you go. This is, so I had it cranked up. It's VHS. It's the best I can get. Sorry. If you didn't hear him, talks about, hey, they're going to start chipping. Yeah, they start chipping the animals, but then it leads to us, and it leads to the kids. And now look. Isn't it funny how in 1997 you talk about the microchip and you were a conspiracy theorist? Now in 2014 you talk about it, you're a technology enthusiast. I really wish I would have known, man. Ugh. Because it's so infuriating. Because what's conspiracy today? They'll be trying to sell us tomorrow. And I don't mean like try to get us to believe it. I mean, hey, get this, buy this. I mean, it's... This is psycho land, everybody. So I had to make a video about that when I saw it. Thanks to everybody who's been standing up and speaking this stuff. I'd save your breath from this point on, because they're just not gonna see. I'm glad it's not us. That's how it's been the right thing to do, because it's been the hard thing to do. And I'm just so thankful to know that there are so many other people out there who have the balls to do this stuff too, because it makes it a lot less lonely. I tell you what, whenever I first started out, I thought I was on my own, and it is so nice to know that there are other people out there who are caring, who are supportive, and we're all just trying to get through this together. Because this has not been easy to be called crazy one minute, and then the next almost be like you're behind the times. So thank you for having the courage. Pat yourself on the back. Good job for sticking it out. So, and I want to thank Christ and God. I do. Because how the hell else would if I had the intuition and the courage to stick up with this stuff? You know how many people in my own family, they treat me like crazy town banana pants? My friends? How else would I have had the strength and the intuition to stick with this stuff? It sure as heck didn't come from some child molesting, animal sacrificing butt humper. Alright, thank you to my teammates and subs.